Wow. Again, I say wow to the Paddy fight. I was not expecting that at all whatsoever. Holy smokes. Newsflash, if you don't know, Paddy choked a man dead in 30 seconds. And that man was BSD, which is no slouch. Paddy, wow. My hat's off to you, brother. That was impressive. I didn't think you were going to do that, man. That was impressive. I think Paddy and Ilia is one of the biggest fights you can make in all of the sport. Why not? Why aren't we doing this fight right now? I want to see Ilia versus Paddy.
As I said the other day, I'm the fucking boy, aren't I? Like, back then I fought Jared Gordon, I was still an immature kid. I might have been 26, but I was still an immature child. Where now I've got kids of my own, and I've got a lot smarter head on my shoulders.
Yeah, I thought Paddy was going to beat him. I never said BSD was good. I said he kicked my ass. I never said I was overconfident and unprepared as usual. Like, it is what it is. Like, Paddy's got some pretty slick submissions. I thought Paddy would sub him, but maybe as the fight drew out a bit longer, that's the game.
BSD, what the fuck? That was absurd.
I mean,
you gave the guy who's a choke artist what he wants in the first 20 seconds of the fight? What? Now that was a nasty performance for Paddy. I mean, he got a layup. I say to the guys while we're watching the fights, I go, why can't I ever get a guy who's just reckless enough to do that for me and give me what I want and make me look like a superhero? You know what I mean?
The goalposts will get moved. Everyone will say, oh, BSD was shit anyway. You know what I mean? When 2 days ago it was BSD's going to smash Paddy, his grappling's well better, he's got too much power for him, this and that. But people just love moving the goalposts with me, and I don't give a fuck. Move them all you want. As long as I keep winning, I keep getting paid, and keep making steps towards being a world champion, you can say what you want. Anyone can say what they want about me. Simple.
High level. Benoit's a high level black belt, a very good black belt. The things he did to, I think he was on a 4-fight win streak over some killers, and for him to go out there and get that win is that shot him to another level of respect amongst fighters.
This is what dreams are made of. When a young kid watches the fight game and he goes, Dad, I want to do that. Take me to the gym, please. It's because somebody like Paddy inspired him. There was nothing short of that. His walkout, he looked like he was having fun. He gets in the ring. He called this move, by the way. And when you lock that in dry, Paddy the Baddy used to be like a regional fighter that said some funny things with a weird hairdo. That's not who he is. This is one of the best fighters in the world. The only reason he was a co-main event tonight is because McGregor made the walk. Paddy the Baddy is a bona fide star.
Paddy Pimblett had a sick performance. Submitted Benoit Saint Denis in the first exchange. Insane Darce choke. Spider monkey wrapped all around his body. Put Benoit Saint Denis to sleep. The energy that Paddy brought, honestly, is something that makes the UFC insanely happy. Makes the fans, they love that kid, guys. People are going crazy in here as Paddy Pimblett walked out. And as Paddy Pimblett left the octagon. He's a stud, and he deserves a big fight after what he did tonight.
But for me, I think Paddy Pimblett is a future champion. I truly mean that. He's very good everywhere. He's good at creating the chaos. And I think for him, once he gets into chaos, he's able to find submissions. And each submission that he really, gets is very, very good basics, good fundamentals, meaning that BSD comes across the board, they start exchanging, he shoots a takedown, he gives up his neck, he takes the neck, and he stays with a choke. He attacks the guillotine, BSD rolls. When he rolls, he attacks the shoulder. When he attacked it and he rolled through, he locks up a beautiful Darce choke.
Gonna win. I wasn't really surprised that he won. I was more surprised that he put him out the way he did with that choke. That was a tight, crazy choke to finish in the gym. But I've never seen it finished like that in a whole bunch of mixed martial arts fights and live competition. That's a tough choke to finish in a real fight.
I just know how good my jiu-jitsu is. I know how good my grappling is. And I knew he was going to shoot in within 20 seconds like he does every fight. And I think he shot in within 10 seconds. And I knew I was going to choke him. I just knew, whether it was a guillotine, whether it was a dash, whether it was a head and arm, whether it was the sick shit what I did. I knew he was getting put unconscious, lad. And I know he's a warrior, and I knew I'd have to put him to sleep, and I did.
And that's crazy, right? Paddy grabbed your neck, and he just proves if you grab your neck, you're in great danger. So, hey, guy's an animal, dude's an animal. He got out there unscathed, congrats to him. Really, it is what it is. That, like, he did it, he should have just fight hands a little bit quicker, I'm sure normal guys grab his neck and he get out of there fine, it just shows that Paddy's grip and squeeze is at a different level.
Yeah, man. Listen, Benoit Saint Denis is a fantastic grappler. That's the strongest part of his game. And Paddy Pimblett made him look like a white belt out there. It showed how potent he is as a finisher, as a submission artist. And it's going to get a lot of people to kind of think twice about facing someone like Paddy Pimblett in the future. And I mean, talk about taking advantage of that opportunity. Again, stealing the show on that Conor McGregor card was exactly what he needed coming off a loss against Gaethje, which also is just looking better and better with each day.
Paddy Pimblett, he was amazing. What's next for Paddy? We don't know. I don't think it's going to be a title fight. I think maybe a fight with Charles Oliveira.
I mean, how do we feel about a Charles Oliveira fight? My ultimate, for me, I've always said, there's already a beef right now with Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria. How do we feel about Arman Tsarukyan in a Paddy Pimblett fight? How do we feel about that? I'd love to see that fight. That's a fight to make right there.
I know people are sick of me saying that Joe Silva tried to sign him when he was 21 and he could have come to the UFC at 23, but he wanted to come as the proper athlete. But relative to who I know him to be, the martial artist, the hard worker, the public perception has been way off, right? People love the persona, rightfully so. He's a master orator without any notes, but people lean into him eating donuts after the fight and they don't realize what a problem he is.
I don't know. There's a different vibe around Paddy Pimblett, and interestingly, he had the same kind of trajectory as Conor McGregor. Coming through Cage Warriors. The thing that sticks out in my mind is, we're in Liverpool, we're at the Echo, which is a great arena. Darren Till fought Wonder Boy there, and it's packed with people. All these kids, Paddy Pimblett haircuts, North Face jackets, all it's like it's a rave in there. It's like it's a. And there's a lot of young fans in there as well, a lot of 15, 16, 17-year-olds in there that are all just kind of like seeing Paddy as the city's hero and already on board, even though it's just local at the moment, it's just Cage Warriors. And he would win, they would absolutely lose their mind, they would go crazy.
What's going to be next for Paddy? Well, let me tell you this. Well, I don't know who the opponent is. I am very confident in telling you he will not be a co-main event. Wherever we go and wherever we take him, I have a feeling there's going to be something special for Paddy. I knew he was a star. I knew he was over. He's a star and he's over with me. My son is over here. And my son was not only dancing, he was standing on his chair and dancing. I mean, it's a really special thing.
And he's likable. The difference is he's got personality. It's not just the fight. It's not even the build-up for the fight. He has actual personality. He's a funny dude. He has a very specific look to him. He's got an all-time walkout. I mean, Paddy's walkouts at the top at this point. Because his is, I think the greatest single walkout I've ever seen was Conor versus Chad Mendes. Just single walkout. But Paddy
the baddie.
Yeah. Heads will roll. But Paddy's got the top 5 walkouts. Just in general, and it's consistent. It's every time.
The reason why this fight is important for Paddy is because people have kind of clowned him. He was coming off the loss. He obviously does have gaps in his game. That's not unfair to say. It's true of any fighter. It's definitely true of him too. We've all seen it. There are gaps in his fucking game. But what last night showed, and the reason why he's the biggest winner was in part the main event fizzled, but the other part was this fight showed if you take this guy lightly, you're in fucking trouble, dude.
I want to be a world champion. Simple as that. You know, I want to be a world champion. I want to be the UFC world champion. I know it's in my destiny. I know it's fate that I'm going to be UFC world champion. I know it is. I know it's going to happen. And I know if I got that rematch with Gaethje that I would become it. But it's one of them. I can't just win one fight and be like, I'm fighting for the belt. You know, I'm not a little posh boy like Arman Tsarukyan who's just sitting out waiting for the title shot. I'll fight my way to a title shot. And if it means I need to be El Chirizo, I'll do it.
Paddy versus Max, Paddy versus Ilia. Those are huge fights.
I don't think that's a good fight for Ilia to take.
Paddy's healthy, 30 seconds. Max Holloway's healthy, 155. They booked that. We gotta. I mean, for Paddy, it's like God. Almost booking him sooner than later is better because he just gets so big, and each fight is gonna be worse as far as his weight. He's gonna be a 170 eventually because the weight just goes up, and that's just naturally how it happens. I mean, every fighter deals with it. Each fight, you get a little bit bigger out of camp, and a little bit bigger for Paddy is pushing 240. So we got to let's get Paddy booked again. Let's get Paddy versus Matty.
Because he didn't even blow up too much in between fights, like with Justin Gaethje and this fight. He seemed like he kept himself quite trim. I haven't heard him say 170 yet, but again, for 170, I can see that because he's a big dude, even for 170. I think he wears that weight well, and some good matchups there for him as well. But look, Max versus Paddy, I'm not mad at it if that happens. But again, whenever it happens, I'm not mad at it.
Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, lad. Yous know who the boy is, lad. Yous know who the fucking boy is, lad. I'm the star of the show, lad. Paddy Pimblett steals the show with a generational performance against Benoit Saint Denis. Amazing win. Genuinely amazing win. And if he can get some good momentum, remember he was out for a while before that Gaethje fight and the eye pokes were there. I think if he can keep active, get another fight in at the end of the year, there is a world where Pimblett gets a belt at lightweight. I really do think so. I think a lot of people changed their mind about him about this.
I got to tell you, Pimblett and two guys, Pimblett and Duplessis, I just had wrong from the beginning. For whatever reason, I thought they looked awkward. There was something, the chin's up in the air. There was always something, but I'm a believer now, and the kid is 1,000,000% a tough kid, got a good chin. I said it the last time. I think that Gaethje fight, even though it didn't go his way, proved to him a lot. He could take a beating from a guy that could give a beating, and he's not going away